Dear Diary, this morning I woke up to find that I had turned into a young teenage girl. As interesting as that sounds, I was terrified. I span in circles for a few minutes before remembering that none of this matters on a cosmic scale, and I should focus on little details instead. Who am I? Where am I? What is this treasure in this royal tower that I cannot explain my own knowledge about? I read a pamphlet explaining that the building I'm staying in was built by the eccentric inventor of chocolate milk. Who knew chocolatey cow juice was such a lucrative business? I grabbed my room key and takeout menu. The takeout menu had a distinct lack of cow juice. I walked out of the room. The hallway was lined with expensive forgeries. Either that or the brown udder excretions were just a cover for an eccentric art thief with a thing for Rembrandt. I heard the telltale clacking of a keyboard coming from one of the rooms. I knocked 30 times, but the author couldn't hear me over the sound of her own self-importance. I tried to slip under the doorway, but alas, I was too large and in charge. I explored the hallways in the recesses of my mind and came across more dead ends than usual. Either the contractor took some PCP with his morning coffee, or the level designers couldn't be bothered to make anything cohesive. I took the elevator instead. I descended to the catacombs where I could peruse the price of snow sticks and the great unyielding solarettes of the ice people. The great ice monk wasn't in when I got there to teach me the ways of his people, so I stole his magic stick. It isn't a vacation without petty thievery. Traveling up the steps, I came across a plastic woman sitting in one of the fireside armchairs reading a tiny book. "Hello, plastic person," I said.
Hi, I'm Lisa.
Her face said puberty, but her voice hadn't gotten the memo. She told me about the juicy gossip around the castle, such as the vandalized library and the stolen theorem of the professor I wanted so desperately to annoy. Content with these answers, I left her to read her bizarre flat book. In the lobby, I discovered a goblin who had painted himself Caucasian. I was immediately and vigorously offended by this blatant display of whitewashing, but decided not to bring it up lest the goblin get angry and start throwing things. The goblin had decided to christen himself groundskeeper and forbade me to enter the library, lest I discover the ungodly secrets of the castle's origins. He also invited me to partake in his cask of Amontillado in the underbasement, but I saw through his devil's trickery and denied him the privilege. Never accept wine from a goblin. They steal your wallet. He told me how the snowman in the basement is refusing to deliver Clackety her ice shoes and that it fell on me to deliver them. I couldn't say no. Literally, it hurt to try. I returned to the hut of the snow nomad to find him standing nonchalantly in the doorway, heretofore proving that business hours are just words thrown around by people who like to pretend they know what they're doing. He spoke to me in some foreign language, referring to me as a Madam Wizzle and a Wisconsin. I discovered the terms of our treaty. He would allow my continued survival if I delivered some snow booties to Clickety Clackety. I was terrified by this nightmare creature, so I said yes and rapidly backed out of the room. Plasticky mucklucks in hand, I went to meet with the tireless typist. On the way there, I decided to flip random switches in the fuse box. The grand typist of yore was grateful for her buckram booties. So grateful, in fact, she insisted I call her Mommy and write myself into her will. At least that's the story I'll tell the police. I put the long purple shoes in front of her doorway and walked away to speak to the house elf. He told me that some random lights went out around the castle and that I should go to the fuse box to fix them. I agreed, but silently made a pact with myself to go back and unfix them at my first opportunity. He was pleased with my ability to turn things on and off, so he sent me to ask the professor upstairs what her favorite food was. From here on out, she'll be called by her given name, Hodgkiss. So I spoke to Hog Smooch about her favorite food, which she said was granules of durum wheat saturated with boiling dihydrogen monoxide. I convinced her to pick something that didn't require a contract with the couscous smugglers. She acquiesced and instead insisted on eating 9 pounds of bird legs. This was much more attainable, so I set the basement beast loose in search of game fowl in the woods to satiate her yawning gullet. The skeleton wearing the skin of an emaciated elderly man thanked me for my service and informed me that he had fixed my heat box. I am an untrusting soul, so naturally I went to check to make sure he hadn't set my room on fire or pooped on my bed or something. Sure enough, my heating box had stopped screaming and just sat there, hissing away like the demon creature it is. And he left imbibements. I'm starting to like this living skeleton. Contented with my day so far, I retired to my desk to catch up on writing inane self-thoughts on pressed wood pulp with my new writing stick I stole off the snow nomad. Today was a good day.